Hello! Good day po sa inyong lahat.
Hi,
This is
C. How are you?
ang hirap mag-live may sumisipa. Kaya
Kamusta po kayong lahat? Habang sumisipa pa si Mia, ako muna
may ano
babati
ako
sa
dito,
inyo.
may
Ano,
ano 'yun, yung pang-alalay sa tiyan ko kasi lakas sumipa.
akala ko na nasipa si Mia. So, hello guys,
Oo,
kamusta kayong
nasipa,
lahat? And
nasipa.
welcome po sa panibagong episode na naman ng Doctor's Desk. Currently, we are on second week of January,
Yes.
second week 2026. Kamusta na po kayo doon sa mga bumabangon, pagkakadapa ng holiday season natin? Kamusta na kayo? How is it going sa pagbabalik sa pag-inyong pag-aayos ulit ng inyong pagkain in tune sa inyong the usual na New Year's resolution na pagiging focus na naman sa inyong health. Kamusta po kayong lahat dyan? I'm Doc Suzette from my low carb MD.
Yes, and I am Doc Fee from your Ahabay Attentions, and we are here again tonight. Supposed to be, this is going to be like the fasting meats and yun sana yung topic ngayon. Pero
No.
inatras natin because
Paumanhin po.
nagulantang. Yes, nagulantang ang mundo ng low carb and non-low carb when the USDA presented the new food guide. So this is the new dietary guideline for Americans na isinusulong ni Kennedy, 'di ba? Tama ba? Dahil
The
nga
HHS.
yes.
HHS.
Yes, kasi they wanna make Americans healthy again. And sino ba
Again.
naman yung
Yeah.
ayaw, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Again, because we were all healthy before na-adulterate yung mga pagkain natin. And not only Americans, pati tayo, we used to be healthy. And I'm pretty sure tayo, mga millennials, naabutan natin yung generation ng mga lolo't lola natin where sickness were only part of degenerative diseases. And when you say degenerative diseases, it's only because your body is failing due to old age. So, hindi lang po balat ang tumatanda, hindi lang yung skin, but also, siyempre yung mga organs natin, tumatanda din sila. So, their job becomes less efficient. And that is the reason why nagkakaroon na ngayon ng mga derangement on how their body would process sugar, would bring back the homeostasis. So, degenerative siya. Hindi kagaya ngayon na as early as adolescent stage, meron na tayong mga metabolic diseases.
Mhm.
And yun nga yung nakakapagtaka kasi Doc Suzette, 'di ba? That the previous USDA has been published since 1970s.
Mhm.
So if it is really effective and if it is really doing its job, then how come that during the time when it was published, dun pa lalong tumaas yung mga metabolic diseases? When it
Mhm.
is saying na it addressed the heart disease and it addressed yung mga complications also ng metabolic diseases. So, yun yung gusto natin ngayon na pag-usapan. Ang pag-uusapan natin is the new food pyramid na inilabas ng USDA. And as you can see here, we included the mixed reactions among health professionals because we also want to tackle bakit ba may mixed reactions ang mga health professionals. And
Yeah.
kung sinasabi natin that we're just like this is anti-science, then how come that there are mixed reactions among different health professionals? Kasi kung talagang iisang knowledge natin, foundational, kasi Doc Suzette, pare-parehas lang tayo ng foundation. So, hindi ba
Mhm.
nagtataka yung mga tao that there are nutritionists na nagiging nagse-celebrate with the new pyramid and other nutritionists na hindi nagse-celebrate with the new food pyramid. including us doctors, na merong mga nagse-celebrate at hindi nagse-celebrate with the new food pyramid. Iisa lang naman po ang mga libro namin. Iba-iba man kami ng
Exactly.
school, kahit naman po iba-ibang bansa. Akala niyo siguro 'pag iba yung school ninyo, ibang libro. Halos pare-parehas lang
And
po kami ng
and
mga
basically
foundation.
ang Philippine education is actually mas naka-lean towards sa sa Americans. Kasi
Exactly.
right where I am, ang foundation nila ng education dito is naka-lean towards UK guidelines or UK
UK.
system of education. Oo. So, nung una din akong napunta dito, noong pagtingin ko rin ng patients, ang sinusunod nila dito is naka-lean sila towards the UK guidelines.
Mhm.
But kapagka uma-attend kami ng mga seminars, ang mga binabanggit ng mga speakers is dalawang guidelines. They are comparing UK guidelines, American guidelines, and even yung iba pang mga first world country na guidelines like Australia, they have different guidelines also.
Mm.
Meron ding ibang guidelines ang New Zealand. But kung papansinin mo or kung meron man ditong mga nanonood sa atin na happens to have a relative na doctors, usually ganoon po kapag uma-attend kami ng mga seminars na lahat
Mhm.
ng guidelines ah, nire-revisit usually ng speakers.
Yes. But
Ang practice
yeah,
kasi
but
sa atin sa Philippines, 'pag nag-seminar kasi ang doctors, doctors lang. But here, from where
yeah.
I am, sama-sama kami. Buong health, allied health is magkakasama sa isang seminar. So it's composed of doctors, nurses, dietitians,
Mm.
laboratory scientists, lahat na nagtatrabaho, pharmacist, magkakasama kaming lahat. So, supposed to be dapat 'pag nag-update ang isa, the dictum is mag-a-update lahat. Ganoon
Yes.
kami on how we are doing it. So, the mixed reaction from the Philippine healthcare practitioners is sobra talagang wild. So, kung papansinin po ninyo, I'm very sure yung mga nanonood sa atin ngayon na 1900, nagtataka din sa mga nasusundan nila sa social media because mixed reactions talaga.
Mm. Pero yung foundation doc yung pinag-uusapan natin, meaning
It's the
theoretical
same.
'no, not
Yeah,
the
it's the same.
guideline.
Yeah.
There are different guidelines per continent, country,
Mm-mm.
whatsoever. Pero ang book namin, when you say foundation is when we studied medicine as, postgrad. Pare-parehas. Usually 'pag nagkakitaan kayong mga doktor, alam niyo ang fission ninyo ilan lang,
Iisa
ganong
lang naman
or
ng physiology at anatomy,
yeah,
nagbago ba ang
nano
parte
or
ng tao?
Gaycon lang. Pagka sinabi mong Biochem, mamili ka lang, dalawa lang
Hindi rin
din
naman
'yan.
nagbabago ang biochem
Hindi
ng
nagbabago. So,
tao,
what
oo.
I'm actually saying is that these guidelines are guidelines, but like my old, very, very old, professor, uh, he keep on telling us before na, "Go back to your basic." Kasi basically, i all the guideline will only make sense if it is following the foundation. So, bakit ka ba gagawa ng guideline? Dahil alam mo kung anong nangyayari sa katawan ng isang tao. Ano lang ba ang madalas na nagbabago? Nagbabago lang minsan, siyempre ang pinakamadalas infections kasi nagkakaroon ng, pagbabago sa mutations and
Mutation,
all. Pero yes, pero usually when it comes to the metabolic activity of the body, nagbabago ba tayo? Nagmu-mutate ba tayo? So, I mean, 'di ba, do we change the way that, we process food? No, but food changes, and so, yun yung nagbabago. The food that we eat changes the way na pina-process siya ng katawan or nagpa pinabago ng pagkain yung proseso ng katawan because they are actually drivers. So, meaning to say, um guideline will always make sense if it is ano, parang nakaano siya sa foundation, dapat nagfa-follow siya ng foundation, dun pa rin at dun ang bagsak. So, ang tanong ba kasi dito, si new food pyramid ba is
Do you have a
now,
photo fee ng bagong
yeah,
guidelines?
yeah.
Sige, lagay mo yung bagong guidelines pag-usapan natin. Sa mga
Mhm.
nanonood sa'min, if you need to have kung meron kayong comments, type in sa chat box, samahan niyo kami. So, bago ang lahat, Fee, shout out lang tayo kay Attorney Vanji. So, sabi niya, "Hi, Doc Fee and Doc Suzette. Just want to say that the carnivore diet helped me pass the 2025 bar exam. Congratulations, Attorney."
Congratulations! Feeling ko nga din kung naka-carnivore na ako nun or ketovore man lang nung med school, siguro mas hindi ako lutang. Siguro sinasabing lutang ako nun, pero ang ibig ko lang sabihin, um, I f I felt like the way that I think ngayon or during the time when I started switching into the low carb diet and nung na-fix, na-manage yung metabolic disease iba, like, I'm so glad na during the time na kailangan ko siya the most, parang biglang dun ko siya na-meet, but at the same time kailangan ko din siya as a physician na talaga because I'm relying
Wala,
on myself na
nakaasa tayo
parang
nun sa 3-in-1.
oo, 3-in-1 tsaka instant foods like, during the duty, imagine mo yung kinakain ko sa duty. I don't know if kayo nakikita niyo yun sa mga ibang doctor sa hospital, especially sa public hospital 'pag sobrang busy. Ang hawak nung isang kamay ko hotdog, yung hawak nung isang kamay ko is instant noodles. Okey na ako dun, breakfast na yun, 'di ba? Tapos, 'di mo alam bakit cranky ka, hindi mo alam bakit parang 'pag nakakita ka ng pasyente medyo ang tagal mo pa mag-decide. Yun pala kasi hindi talaga mag-function yung mga neurons mo, alam mo yun. So, I'm happy na parang, um, na-meet ko siya, nakilala ko siya and napag-aralan ko din
Mhm.
siya. Pero kung may mas pinagpapasalamat ako, I'm pretty sure Attorney Vanji would also agree. Ang pinagpapasalamat natin is we became open.
Yes,
'Cause
definitely.
the knowledge was always there. The thing is, it's not that hindi mo siya nami-meet, but sometimes dumadaan na siya sa'yo but you're so close-minded, you don't want to at least take a peek, take a look at it. And that is really what's happening right now, even with other colleagues of ours, yung mga other healthcare professionals, whether they're nutritionists, doctors, nurses, and others, na
Eh,
maalam
beneficial
din at
na wala.
kasama sa lifestyle. Parang again, parang dahil iba na siya dun sa inaral mo or iba na siya sa mga pinaninindigan mo, totally sarado. Like, hindi ka ba puwedeng ma-curious? 'Cause that's how it started for me, eh. Wala pa 'tong USDA new guideline na 'to. Hindi ko na nga
Mm.
kailangan yan, eh, sorry to say. Formality lang 'to for me, like salamat Panginoon na ilabas yung ganitong klase. But even before, yun yung point ko, hindi ko kinailangan hintayin na may maglabas ng ganitong guideline for me to be curious about it or para umpisahan yung pagsasaliksik ko din on my own if this, type of guideline is making sense.
Sa akin, Fee, ano lang, salamat napunta siya sa mainstream.
Yes, dito sa part na 'to.
Salamat napunta siya sa mainstream kasi, um, nandiyan na siya talaga. Even
Yes.
before, yung mga previous, doctors, panahon pa nila, Weston Price, panahon
Hmm.
pa nila Michael Edes, balikan pa natin even yoong
Mhm.
panahon pa ni Yudkin, nandiyan na yan, eh. Pero kasi yung boses nila hindi nadidinig.
Panahon pa ni
Siguro
Atkins.
advantage exactly. Yudkin and Atkins, almost the same sila ng era. Pero siguro
Mhm.
kagandahan na lang din ng social media, naging mas madali yung dissemination, mas madali ang access. Pero dahil nga dito sa, bagong dietary guidelines na 'to ng US, is napunta siya lalo sa mainstream, mas napag-usapan siya. Um, sa mundo ng low carb, marami pa ring nasasabi about these guidelines. But,
Mhm.
alam natin kung paano nag-compromise ang mga bawat isa in coming up with these guidelines dahil nung in-announce 'to ni RFK, yung room is puno ng hindi lang iisang doktor, but maraming doktor, maraming researches, maraming coaches, and nagtulong-tulong sila to come up with this. Hindi lang ito utak ng nag-iisang si Kennedy. Even the
Mhm.
help of the FDA American na si Martin ba or Martyr, sorry, I forgot the name, kasama siya sa collaboration with this FDA and HHS. So, sobrang, sabi nga nila, it's an upside down pyramid. Kaya, usually naman talaga kapag may pagbabago, hesitant pa talaga or marami pa talagang tumututol. Hangga't hindi pa
Mhm.
nila na-try, hangga't hindi pa nila fully nag-grasp itong idea na 'to. But, I want to remind everyone that these guidelines is intended for general population. Kasi
Mhm.
itong picture na 'to, ito lang yung pinaka front page, pero on the guidelines talaga marami pa pong insertions or subtopics na meron
Mhm.
pang, age, na bata, ano yun, tatlong age groups sa mga bata. Meron pang pregnant women, merong
Yes.
pang, elderly, merong pang mga, subset ng people na may chronic, diseases. And they believe, upon coming up with these guidelines, ang sabi nila, it will make Americans healthy again. So, yun nga yung sinabi mo, Fee, di ba? Healthy again. So, dating healthy, pero somewhere along the road, maraming nangyari. Hindi na sila naging healthy. Katulad din ng profile nating mga Pilipino, tumaas ang cardiovascular disease, tumaas ang cancer, tumaas ang diabetes, hypertension na sakit. Infection, is nasa top 2 or top 3 na lang yata sa mga
Mhm.
mortality. So, anong nangyari? Bakit biglang tumaas ang cardiovascular disease? Pero dahil dati pa namang ina-advise, bawal ang taba, uminom ng statin para iwasan ang cardiovascular diseases, but still, hindi pa rin nila napigilan yung pagtaas ng cardiovascular disease. So, what happened? What happened doon sa ganong kahabang mga taon? Bakit hindi nila napigilan despite advances sa techniques sa medical
Mhm.
treatment? Nagdagdag sila ng different guidelines, ang daming medications na dapat kailangan gamitin or para iinumin ng pasyente para mabawasan ang cardiovascular disease, pero hindi pa rin talaga mapigilan. It's still soaring high yung population ng mga tao na may sakit. So what happened? So bakit sila nag-come up ng ganitong panibagong guidelines?
Yes. So, Doc Suzette, with this USDA, are there any
Hmm.
particulars that you wanted to really discuss the public about, especially
Okay.
with yes, with the inverted pyramid, or any comments that you would like to relay on them regarding this pyramid? So
Sige.
so as to make like um una maybe um not reassurance, but siguro to address confusions sa kanila
Okay.
because it became confusing for them.
Mm. So kung papansinin ninyo, the old pyramid, the old recommended guidelines for the Americans, kasi ayaw pang tanggapin ng mga
Yes.
Filipinos, had to say na we are actually based yung guidelines natin from the old American food pyramid.
Mhm.
Doon po yan nagsimula pa din. So, kung isa sa unang-unang prioritize dito sa guidelines na to na nakakot ng attention ko is that yung portion ng protein, which
Yes.
is originally was 0.8 to 1.2 na 1.2 or 1.5 na ideal, was tinaas. The baseline from 0.8 itinaas to 1.2. So,
Mhm.
yun yung unang priority. Tapos kung mapapansin ninyo dito sa photo na 'to, naka-picture doon sa kaliwa yung steak, so beef, which is pangkaraniwang nating naririnig, even sa ospital, bawal kumain ng red meat,
Red
iwasan
meat.
ang karne ng baka kasi mataas ang cholesterol. But pero dito sa picture na to, naka-emphasize na nandun sa larawan yung karne ng baka, nakapronta din doon sa gitna. Hindi nga lang siya the top most, pero nasa gitna ng pyramid is nandoon yung butter, which is yung mga pinapakaiwasan dati. Pero kung
Mhm.
papansin ninyo ngayon, nakapronta na siya. Ang laki ng portion ng salmon, andun yung itlog, kitang-kita, sunny side up, nandun ang hipon,
Hindi
nandun
siya
yung
siniksik
manok,
lang.
nandun ang keso. Hindi
Kaya
rin
hindi
siya
siya siniksik
pinagsiksikan.
nila.
Yes. So, kumbaga may picture taking kayo, family picture, nasa kanila yung parang binigyan sila ng space talaga doon sa triangle. Hindi lang siya basta siniksik na parang, o sige, magkumpulan kayo dyan. Hindi. But ang sabi ko nga, noong nagdidiskusyon tayo dito, medyo there are I have some problems with the illustration, but sige, it's okay. That's my point of view. Pero pagbigyan natin, just to have the clear cut doon sa protein part kasi 0.8 tinaas ng 1.2. Napakalaking bagay nun. Kung i-consider mo yung timbang at yung ituturong anong klasing karne yung dapat kainin ng pasyente. Kasi dati ano lang isda, tsaka manok, tapos breast pa. Pero dito yung manok buong buo, may balat.
Mhm.
'Di ba? So,
Actually,
nakakatuwa 'yan.
yes. Actually, Doc, no, if you study the previous pyramid, it is talking about not only the priority, but how much does a food would make up the total caloric intake
Yeah.
of a person. So meaning to say, sa baba ng pyramid, kaya nandun yung carbs kasi they are promoting that almost like 60% halos
45 to
yung
60%
total
because that's
caloric
the
intake
base.
mo is from carbohydrates. And then next is protein and then about 10%. So 30% of the total caloric need is protein and then yung 10% is fat. Kaya yun yung pyramid nun. Hindi
Mm.
kaya siya pyramid na gano'n, hindi lang yun tungkol sa importansya. It is actually showing you the percentage kung ano yung bubuuhin ng mga pagkain na yun sa total caloric intake ng isang meal or ng kinukuha mo sa buong araw. So, dito, satisfied ako because they gave importance with the protein. But still lacking because when you are going to compute the 1.2 to 1.8 na, ay 1.2 tama ba? 1.2 to 1.6 siya, 1.2, 1.8.
1.6.
Okay, 1.2 to 1.6
Mm.
grams per kilograms. It is going to really take so much of the caloric intake provided na ang karne, hindi lang karne yan. It will always come with the fat. Nahiya lang talaga sila and this is the compromise. Yung pinag-uusapan natin, Doc, na compromise, guys. Huwag magagalit yung mga nasa low carb community. Huwag magagalit, lalong-lalo ng mga carnivore community. This is what you get. This is what you call compromise. Na sige, hindi pa kayo masyadong open, pero nagme-make sense na sa inyo. So, mag-meet tayo in the middle. You still want all those veggies, you still want all those fruits, but I want to still emphasize the protein. So, let's create a pyramid na unti-unting ini-inject yon until such time that you could really make parang a massive na database regarding this. Because you see, napaka-early. Ibig sabihin, kailan lang pinaglaban 'to? Yung iba na kasama malamang nag-start pa lang aralin din yung nature ng saturated fat protein in health. Imagine ninyo kami nila Doc Sosette 2018, 2019 inaaral na namin 'to, hindi pa namin gano'n ka-grasp. Tapos ikaw biglang nakaupo ka diyan, kaharap ka na nila at pinagsisiksikan na agad sa'yo yung protein, ta's ikaw natotonta ka, isang taon lang kailangan ko 'tong aralin, how can you really create that compromise? So, ang pino-point ko dito, maraming galit na hindi maalam regarding the effect of the carbs and ano yung purpose ng pyramid na 'to. Pinaglalaban niyo lang guys puro nutrients, pinaglalaban niyo lang puro puro calories. Mamaya pag-usapan natin bakit ganito 'to, bakit siya naka-invert, and ano ba talaga yung Make Americans Healthy Again. Ano ba yung cause kung bakit hindi healthy na ang mga Americans? Yun naman ang gustong i-address nito. So, yun yung hindi niyo naiintindihan at mamaya pag-uusapan natin kasi meron naman tayong isang oras. But sa low carb naman parang, "Hindi, kulang. Dapat nga wala ito, wala yan." Hindi yun ang point.
They
You
want
know
to cross
better.
everything out.
Yeah. You know
Mm-mm.
better. Hindi niyo nga kailangan 'to, eh, ta's nagrereklamo pa kayo. I mean, kung tutuusin, you don't need this pyramid. Ginagawa niyo na 'to. Magbunyi kayo kasi this is a start of something new. Sometimes, kailangan lang galawin muna ang baso. Hindi naman kailangan agad-agad panalong-panalo ka na sa life, hindi gano'n. The way for you para maumpisahan kailangan munang magalaw yung baso, 'di ba? So, ngayon, ano bang ina-address? Bakit ganito yung naging kahihinatnan na para bang in other, healthcare professionals na ang pinaglalaban lang ay kailangan mo ng carbs, healthy naman ang carbs. Sinong nagsabing hindi healthy
Hmm.
ang carbs? Hindi hindi eme, eme, eme. Ang pino-point natin dito, ang ina-address kasi nito is the metabolic disease and the metabolic health. Meaning to say, ang pinaka-focus natin ngayon is since nasabi ni Doc Suzette kanina, that the most common cause of morbidity, when you say morbidity, ano yung mga sakit? Are diabetes, hypertension, fatty liver disease, and heart disease, which is already a complication of diabetes, hypertension, and a bad liver. Yun yung gustong i-address nung bagong food pyramid. Na ang pino-point natin dito, all of these, one of the main culprit is really insulin resistance na nag-ugat sa mataas na insulin. And if you study physiology of a person or physiology of human body, insulin only responds when there is a very, very high spike in blood sugar. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay talagang nag-aral regarding the response of insulin, maintindihan mo that ang nakakapag-spike lang ng blood sugar are carbohydrates, mainly starches. Ngayon, hindi sinasabi ng food pyramid na 'to na masama yung starch. Sinabi ba niya? Ang pino-point lang niya, unang-una sa lahat, hindi mo kailangan ng maraming starch. Ang
Mhm.
pino-point lang niya, least priority siya. We are not saying that carbs are bad. It is the way that we consume carbs that is bad. And now we are all very, very sick to a point where we are already very sick to consume even a small carbohydrate. Nagegets niyo yung ibig kong sabihin? The way that we consume carbs and the way that the society create carbs in form of ultra-processed food, yun yung may mali. Ngayon kung ibababa mo ang priority sa carbohydrate at itataas mong priority sa protein at sa mga green leafy vegetables for an instance, meron bang gagawa ng nakapack pa na ultra-processed na broccoli? Meron din bang gagawa na kapag sabi mong real food, ewan ko lang kasi may mga lab-grown meat, yan na naman ang problema daw sabi nila. But if you lower
Very
down the intake,
expensive.
very expensive. But if you lower down and you put least priority to starches and extra sugar, then magiging least priority mong ultra-processed food kasi most of the ultra-processed food and manufactured foods na tinitinda ngayon sa market are really carbs. your breakfast cereal, kasi sabi sa umaga dapat nagbe-breakfast cereal ka, your oatmeal, kasi dapat daw in the morning maganda sa katawan natin yung oatmeal. So, let's go back to that. Now, the problem is, kaya ka may diabetes, hypertension, obesity, fatty liver, heart disease is because of insulin resistance na nag-start as hyperinsulinemia or mataas na insulin na nag-start din dahil laging nag-spike yung blood sugar mo. So, it is an inverted pyramid because it is telling you na least important na ngayon na i-consume mo yung starch because this is where it all started. Your disease started here. You're not eating the right food. Na hindi ko gets, bakit hindi magets ng iba? So, nakukuha niyo po yung ibig ko sabihin if you're watching. Okay? So, meaning to say, lahat ng mga nasa taas, ang pinopoint lang dyan, some of these are still carbs, but they are non-starchy form because they are fiber-rich. Which is for me, as a physician, kung hindi ka open sa low carb at makikita mo tong food pyramid na to, this is still doable. Nakuha niyo yun? Hindi kasi namin, ako personally Doc Suzette, this is also my opinion. As a physician myself, I want my patients to be healthy. I do not want to insinuate that I am labeling what I give to them as kasi low carb physician ako or whatsoever. Hindi namin din yung ginagawa sa practice. Ang problema din sa mga low carb practitioner, yan, hindi ako bias para masabi ninyo na, hindi pala bias si doc. Ang hirap din sa mga low carb practitioner, ang ipinaglalaban na ninyo, hindi health, yung label, which is being low carb. Nagigets ko din po yon. Pero iba kasi ang perspective ko as a physician. Which is, bakit ako masaya na kahit paano nagkaroon ng ganitong pagbabago, nagkaroon ng inverted pyramid. At kahit paano, ito yung nasa taas. Kasi I'm pretty sure, even the most resistant patient to low carb, kasi nga may mga narinig na sila na si low carb ay fad diet according to other nutritionists, mapapakain ko pa rin sila nito. Tama ba, Doc?
Yeah.
Kapag pinakita mo to sa kanila, kunwari, hindi ko mo ile-label, it's not low carb, but you're just going to limit your carbohydrate and you're going to focus on this protein and
That's
veggies.
not low carb.
That's not low carb. So,
It's
ang
not low
mangyayari
carb,
sa kanila,
definitely.
ay, kaya pala, Doc. Kasi tinry na namin to ni Doc Mike. We have patients in outpatient departments na hindi namin nilalabelan yung binibigay namin na slow carb. What we do is we use the per food item labeling. Meaning to say, mamang taas ng uric acid mo. Let's say for example lang, magbibigay ako ng example. A patient came with a very high uric acid na pinagbawalan kumain ng red meat and organ meats. But the patient keeps eating saba instead. Every single day. And high fruit consumption. Mataas ang fruit consumption ng pasyente. So now instead of saying, mag-low carb ka, minsan kasi may mga resistant pag sinabing pinaglo-low carb ako ng doktor na yun, narinig ko na dati na nakapanood na ako dati sa YouTube or Facebook na may isang mas mga sikat na doktor na nagsasabi na ang low carb ay fad diet. So ayaw na nila. So ngayon, instead na sabihin mo agad na mag-low carb diet ka, what you're going to do is to tell the patient na, "Ma'am, tignan mo ilang taon ka na ngang hindi kumakain ng karne? Ganito po, nasa 20 years na kasi 20 years ago pa tumataas ang ang uric acid ko." So, ibig sabihin hindi yan dahil sa karne. Ano po yung mga kinakain ninyo? Saba po at saka mga prutas. So, sasabihin mo lang sa kanila, "You see, prutas at ganito, yan ang kinakain ninyo, pero taas pa rin ang uric acid ninyo. So, ganito po kasi ang nangyayari. When you're eating a lot of fruit, yung fruits may dalawang klase yan ng asukal. It's glucose and fructose. Yung pinaka-majority niyan ay yung tinatawag na fructose. At yung fructose na yon, pag napunta sa katawan, Mapupunta siya at mai-imbak agad sa atay and usually kino-convert agad yun ng katawan as uric acid. So tignan mo tiniis mong hindi magkarne, tataas din lang ang uric acid mo kasi fructose lahat ang kinakain mo. The patient will understand. And then you will also say, "Mahilig ka ba sa rice?" Sasabihin niya, "Oo, ang lakas ko kumain ng rice." Kasi nga hindi nga siya nag-uulam, eh, ang ginagawa niya yung saba inulam na rin niya.
Mhm.
Kinain niya ng kanin. So sasabihin mo, "Alam niyo ba na 'pag ang katawan natin napakataas ng carbohydrate galing sa kanin at tinapay at yun ay na-convert na sa glucose, 'pag may excess ka din na glucose sa katawan, iko-convert din yun ng katawan mo na fructose tapos uric acid." So yung fructose dumiretso na ng uric acid, yung sobra mo pa na glucose galing dun sa rice at saka mga bread na kinain mo, na-convert din ulit sa fructose at uric acid, pati triglyceride. "Ay talaga Doc?" "Oo." So kung ako sa'yo, bawasan mo yung kanin, wag ka na rin munang magprutas. Tas ang mas maganda niyan, i-try mo ulit kumain ng maraming karne, tas kumain ka na lang ng gulay. Bumalik ka sa'kin after 3 months. Tignan natin kasi siyempre hindi ka nga kumakain ng karne nun, para mapatunayan ko sa'yo na hindi talaga karne ang nagpapataas ng uric acid mo. That is the strategy. Pagdating ng pasyente anong sasabihin? "Doc, tignan mo for the first time after 20 years, nag-normalize ang uric acid ko, hindi lang ako nagsaba, hindi lang ako nagprutas, binawasan ko lang yung gulay, ngayon nakakakain na rin ako ng pinapaitan." Sabi bawal noon. Do you get what I mean? This is just a scenario. This is just a scenario where this inverted pyramid is now more helpful to me as a physician because I'm just going to show it to my patient. Whether they are not a local practitioner, it would help me a lot as a physician to say, "Tignan mo, lalo na ngayon may bago na." Kasi usually sasabihin sa'kin ng patient, "Eh, kasi po nakalagay dun sa food pyramid ang daming dapat 'to madaming rice, madaming" yun yung nakalagay kahit dun sa ano, dun sa Pinggang Pinoy. Eh, 'pag pinakita ko 'to sa kanila, sasabihin ko, "Tignan mo may bagong release, oh. Tama rin yung tinuro ko sa'yo 'di ba? Oh, nagbago din 'di ba?" Nage-gets niyo po ang ibig kong sabihin sa ating mga 35 viewers na sana ay makapanood din ng
35,000.
35,000.
Yeah.
How about you, Doc Suzette? What is going to be the implication of this, like, inverted food pyramid, to
Napaka
you as a
napaka-useful nito sa'kin. Actually, I'm using
Mhm,
it na ngayon sa clinic. Kasi before, it's just an
mhm.
imagination, eh, 'di ba? But ganito kasi yan, eh, side by side. Ang hirap
Mhm.
kasi talagang i-debunk nung mentality na bawal ang karne, bawal ang beef, bawal ang lamb. Yun kasi yung main na karne dito from where I'm practicing.
Mhm.
We have beef and lamb. Tapos, chicken tsaka fish. So, 'pag pinakita mo 'to ngayon, you could, mapapakita mo sa kanila is andun yung baka, andun yung itlog, andun yung
Yes.
isda. Tapos on the other side of the triangle, maliit na lang yung portion noong tinapay tsaka nung rice. And it's brown. So, they follow the brown, bread here. Pero ang rice talaga is rice and hindi lang isang ganitong cup, it's a big plate, malaking plate talaga. So, kung titignan mo 'to, napakadali, eh, tapos guided kasi kami ng CGM. So, kapagka, yung mga pasyente ko rito masunurin, nung mga wala pang CGM, kaya nilang mag-check ng blood sugar nila 6 times per day. 3 beses, 3 araw prior the consultation. So, meron kaming pag-uusapan
Mhm.
ng pasyente. So, once you
Mhm.
show this photo, at 'pag tinanong mo sila, nag-diet review ka plus the blood sugar nila, "Anong kinain mo dito, bakit tumaas? Anong kinain mo dito, bakit normal? Same araw, same gamot, pero bakit dito mataas sa day 1, bakit pagdating ng day 2, day 3 bumaba? Anong kinain mo?" Ganoon yung, galaw ng clinic, gano'n yung usapan because the medicines are there. Pare-parehas lang. Anywhere you go, pare-parehas lang ang medicines. Magkakaiba lang po kami ng brand. Mas maraming brand sa Philippines. Hindi ko na po alam ang brand name. I just know the generic. Alam ng mga pasyente ko yan. Na pag sinabi nila sa akin na, Dok, ganito gamot, anong generic? Usually, ganon. Ganon ang takbo ng usapan namin. So, kapag nakita nila na, ay oo nga, kumain po ako dito ng ganito. Actually, diabetics, dito kasi hindi nawawala ang prutas eh. Usually, ang snacks talaga nila, prutas. So, I know the food pyramid, the new food pyramid has the prutas, but again, sinabi ko nga, may special inclusion, may subset ng inclusion doon sa guidelines na to, na kapag ka ikaw ay may chronic diseases, the patient will benefit to a lower carbohydrate intake. So if you follow this guideline, it's okay. Pero kung ikaw ay subset ng tao na may chronic diseases, you may benefit pa. Kasi you have the baseline eh, nandun na eh. Chinek mo yung blood sugar mo, kumain ka ng, let's say, kanin, kumain ka ng prutas, andun na yung baseline ng blood sugar mo eh, mataas. So, ibaba mo, kalahatiin mo, yung 1 cup na kinakain mo, kalahatiin mo, kalahati, tignan mo ang blood sugar. And madalas na nangyayari, pag bumaba ang blood sugar, bababa ang blood pressure. Susunod na rin yung timbang. Susunod na rin yung giginhawa yung pakiramdam ng pasyente. Susunod na rin na nawawala yung mga tumutusok-tusok sa paa or mainit yung paa, which is possible neuropathy. Napapansin nyo rin na kapag tinesting yung ihi tsaka yung kidney, nag-i-improve din ang creatinine plus EGFR. It follows. Dire-diretso na. So, the patient will learn na, ay Dok, sinunod kita. Kasi, tinry ko one time, uminom ako ng fruit juice or fresh orange nung breakfast. Akala ko kasi, okay lang. Kasi, fresh juice, orange yun. Wala naman akong hinalong sugar. Pero nagulat ako, yung blood sugar ko tumaas ng ganito. Subukan nyo rin. Pag meron kayong kinain, if you believe na itong pagkain na to or any food, any fruit with a particular quantity na gusto ninyo, i-try ninyo. Kamusta ang reaction ninyo sa blood sugar? Makikita nyo talaga, it's very evident if you have diabetes. Kung hindi man kayo diabetes pero you are insulin resistant, makikita ninyo gaano kabilis bumaba ang blood sugar. Yun yung kagandahan ng CGM ngayon, which is pinupush ng mga medical practitioners na gamitin. Kasi nakita naman talaga sa studies na it is very useful. Makikita ninyo yung trend kung kamusta ang blood sugar. Hindi kayo diabetic pero makikita ninyo from the time you eat the food until ilang oras bago siya mag-normalize, mag-plateau, or bago siya bumaba, depending on your body's response. Huwag nyo nang pansinin yung sinabi ni ganito or ni ganon. Sabi okay lang. Sabi sa listahan ni ganito okay lang. Tignan ninyo kung anong response ng katawan nyo. Kasi 'di ba? I do believe and I do agree dun sa sinasabi nila na one size doesn't fit all.
Yes.
Pero pare-parehas ang response ng katawan natin when it comes to the quantity and the quality of the carbohydrate na kinakain natin. Automatic yan. Pag kumain ka nun, mag-shoot up ang blood sugar and ang response ng katawan is tataas ang insulin level, insulin hormone para pababain yung blood sugar. And kung gaano ka ka-insulin resistant, ganoon kabilis or ganoon ka bagal yung pagbaba ng mataas na blood sugar na yun. So, that is different for everyone. So, ganun ninyo i-tailor. Kung nagdududa kayo with the food that you are eating, kayo mismo sa sarili nyo tignan. But with these guidelines, kahit sabihin natin na marami pa siyang bashers, at I know it would take really some time para ma-accept to fully. Hindi ko alam kung the Filipinos will make up a new Pinggan Pinoy mula sa guidelines na to, but usually po sa nagsasabi na bakit ako susunod dyan, hindi naman ako Amerikano, yung mga guidelines po ng mga doktor na sinusunod din nyo, nanggaling po yan, it's either American, it's either UK, NICE guidelines, doon po yan nanggagaling. So hindi man kayo yung sumusunod, pero sinusunod ninyo yung doktor ninyo, galing po yan doon. Hindi po
Yes.
yan galing sa Pilipinas lang talaga na mga experts and scientists natin na sila lang yung gumawa niyan. So, I'm sorry doon sa mga healthcare providers na colleagues ko. Aminin natin na we are also following American and UK guidelines. Hindi lang talaga nanggagaling sa Pilipinas yung guidelines na sinusunod natin.
Yes, tsaka mas aminin natin na hindi talaga nagwo-work yung pinggang Pinoy kahit sa sarili nyo. Sorry. Sorry, buntis. Di mapigilan. Kasi di ba,
Ikaw na may excuse kasi ikaw ay buntis.
oo, hindi. Kasi di ba, po-promote ninyo yung same. Ginawa nyo sa sarili nyo. Because I've been there, done that. Like, pre-diabetic ako. Sabi, mag-calorie deficit. Sabi, mag-wheat bread. Sabi, kinomputan ka ng nutritionist. Pagdating sa'yo, pre-diabetic ka pa rin. So, bakit? O tapos ang next resort mo, metformin. Ngayon, di ka pa rin magtaka, bakit ganun? O sabi, mag-exercise, magpapayat, nag-yoga ako, nag-gym pa ako. Hindi nga ako makalakad mag-duty sa ER, sa sakit ng mga katawan ko, isang buong internship ko ginawa yun, pati mag-diet ng lasang karton, para masabi na effort done. You know what I mean? Yung parang dumating ka sa point na hindi na masasabi ng tao na wala ka kasing ginawa, eh, kaya hindi ka gumaling. So, pati PCOS ko hindi gumaling. So, ang pino-point ko dito, I know that this is not coming from arrogance, na just because I feel like maraming nagawa sa'kin yung low carb, eh, parang ang dating is parang I'm against everyone. It's just because I am tired. I am already tired dun sa point na parang, ba't di niyo nakikita? Like, most of you are following the same guideline and then you practice the calorie in, calorie out. After 3 months, nagkikita-kita tayo ulit. In the same place, same area, same convention, then sasabihin mo lang sa akin, "Hindi ko kinaya, eh. Maggamot na lang." So, what does it tells me and my patient na kung ang resort ng doktor mo ay gamot na lang din sa huli, then ano din magiging resort niya sa pasyente niya? Ibig sabihin gamot na lang din. Kasi nga kung siya hindi niya kinaya, eh. Sinasabi ko ba 'to in the place of arrogance din? Hindi. Kasi gano'n din ginagawa ko sa pasyente ko nun. Meron akong sinasabihang mga pasyente na, "Ma'am, kailangan po kasi talaga magpapayat. Ma'am, kailangan po kasi talaga mag-diet." Nakatingin sa'kin yung matanda, ang laki-laki ko. I was 74 kilos. Gusto niya ako i-judge kasi mas malaki pa ako sa kanya and I was like, "Yes, ma'am, I know. It's hard. That's why you need to take your medicine." And that made me very frustrated. I feel like, Doc Suzette, what is lacking is the frustration. Yung frustration to a point na if I could not even manage my own disease, manage my own sickness using all the guidelines that I have right now, I am following it religiously. Then how can I really manage and handle my patients? If you come to that point, marirealize mo din na you will find other ways, just like what we did. Because I remember the conversation I had with my husband. My husband is a registered nutritionist dietitian, and he is also an internist. And I said, "Mahal, may nakita ako coming from someone na guideline based lalong-lalo na in family medicine, napaka-OC ng family medicine sa CPGs. Kasi parang laging ano yun, quality assurance, what are the CPGs, where are your CPGs? Parang gano'n kami pinalaki during the training. So kung tutuusin mas marami akong CPG kay Mike kasi siyempre ang CPG niya adult medicine lang, ang CPG mo pati pedia, OB, lahat. So ngayon, I said, I saw something and I was skeptical because it was really like 180 degrees of what we know about nutrition. And it says I can eat meat and I'm a meat lover and I just need to limit or avoid sugar. I did not study it further yet, but it is promising. I wanna try it. And he told me, as a nutritionist, I am against it. And I said, you have been my nutritionist for a long time. You and Bern. Kasama mo si Bern. You created a meal plan for me 3 years ago. I followed it. I made my own meal. I made our meals together. Binabaon ko para yun lang kainin ko sa hospital so I will not eat other meals. I've been doing yoga. I've been going to the gym. I can say that hindi ako nagkulang. But look at me right now. I'm miserable. Let me try it for 3 months. I think I will not die. Sinabi ko sa kanya yun. Hindi ko ikakamatay ito. Mas ikakamatay ko 'tong nangyayari sa'kin na hinihingal na ako, second floor pa lang ng apartment natin. Hindi naman two-story yung apartment namin, nasa second floor talaga yung apartment. Yung mismong studio unit namin nasa second floor talaga. Yung pag-akyat mo dok hingal na hingal ka na. Parang sabi ko,
Pagod
"Hindi ko
ka pa sa duty,
ikakamatay
galing 36 hours.
hindi ko ikakamatay 'tong diet na 'to. Mas mamamatay na ako ngayon kung ipagpapatuloy ko 'to. I want something, I want an answer. I want something I could use for myself and for my patients." That's where it all started. After 3 months, I got my menstruation back regular from someone who had never had regular menstruation for 8 years, who's been on pills for 8 years. And he wondered. And then I lost immediately because of all the inflammation I lost. And then nakita niya when we repeated the labs, I am no longer pre-diabetic. And I am not in need of any medication. And my mood is very okay. Yung taray hindi magbabago yan guys. Ugali na talaga yan. Pero yung mood ko, at least hindi na ako nagmo-mood swing na mataray, mas mataray. Charot lang. Medyo ano na siya, mas kaya mo ng sundan. Okay yan lang yung level niya, mga gano'n. But then that thing made him realize, maybe I should try it too because during that time, may central obesity siya, mataas ang triglyceride and at the same time mataas ang uric acid. He tried after 3 months, nag-normalize ang triglyceride and uric acid. Si Mike pa naman, if you can prove something to him, hindi magbabago. Ibig sabihin 'pag na-prove na niya at nakita niyang mali siya at nakita niyang effective 'yun, mahirap na naman ulit baguhin kasi may proof, eh. So that is how we started to be low carb practitioners. Low carb practitioners, not educators. Kasi we were doing it by ourselves, for ourselves pa lang noon. We were so hesitant to bring it to the public because una, R&D nga siya. Pangalawa, hindi din namin alam kung anong makakasagupan namin sa mundo kapagka lumabas kami at nakita nila na ito yung practice namin. So this is like parang parang a revolution for me kahit na sabihin na some low carb are not satisfied with the pyramid kasi parang hindi dapat ganyan, dapat totally lahat ng protein nasa taas. I get it guys, pero kung kakainin niyo yung protein, 'di niyo naman makakain lahat ng gulay na nandiyan, eh, mabubusog kayo kaagad. So hindi rin 'yan masusunod. But this is a good start, good way to introduce to those who are very hesitant and those na nagre-resist, not only hesitant but resistant to low carb diet. at least you can show them a food pyramid na kung saan you're not insinuating that they should practice a certain level ng diet, but you can still help them to at least manage a certain disease. Pinakalalo na ngayon, nabuntis ako, because I keep telling people that you don't need to cut down your calorie intake in order for you to manage your diabetes as a buntis. I am just waiting for this pyramid to show people that I am right when it comes to my dietary intake of protein, because I've been eating 1.5 grams to 1.7 grams per kilograms of reference body weight per day. Ganon kataas. And I am avoiding carbs, limiting carb intake. So, halos ganito siya. But other buntis na fellow colleagues, parang, "Doc Fee talaga, parang tama ba 'tong pinapagawa mo sa amin?" "Oo, wag kang mag-alala, may lalabas na study diyan." Kasi ang hirap, kasi parang walang study, or walang guideline, and then nilabas 'to, Doc. So, we were so happy kasi sabi ko sa kanya, "You see, tama yung ginagawa natin, o tama rin yung ginagawa mo, and I am happy na sabi ko nga sa inyo, parang sa 3rd trimester, I'm not cutting calories. I did not cut any calories. I learned that other pregnant women are eating sobrang kaunti na lang na meal because they cut calories in order to cut everything. And you are also compromising the protein, amino acids, and essential fatty acids for your little ones. So at least, sabi ko nga sa inyo, this is revolutionary. So anyways, any closing remarks from you, Doc Suzette, before we end?
Wag mo na mag-closing, saglit lang. Ano masasabi mo
Ano
sa fat?
yan?
Ano masasabi
Okay.
mo sa fat? Fat
Fat is
intake,
fat is
sige.
actually also a compromise. Sabi ko nga, the guideline actually limited saturated fat into 10%. Pero it's just a show. Because when you do the math, kapag kinompute mo yung 1.6 grams per 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilograms per reference body weight, at kinain mo yon, aabot ka pa rin more than the 10% saturated fat. The thing is, I just want to reassure people that there is no clear study that actually says na ang heart disease at plaque formation ay dahil sa saturated fat. Wala naman kasi talaga. Kahit pang kainin nyo ay lean meat, I don't think makakain yung lean meat na 1.6 grams hindi masarap. Mag-a-add at mag-a-add ka pa rin ng taba. Kasi, alam nyo, ang nagpapasarap talaga sa pagkain, sorry to say, it's the fat. Sa tingin nyo yung mga ultra-processed food, sabi dun sa guideline, Doc, saturated fat is still limited to 10%, and you can do that when you avoid eating
Yes.
ultra-processed food. Hindi niya sinabi na you can maintain the 10% saturated fat if you do not eat fatty meat. Bakit kaya ang nakalagay doon ay you can reach the 10% saturated fat kapag inavoid mo lang yung ultra-processed. Because what people do not realize, you have plaque formation not because of the saturated fat from the meat. Dahil ang katotohanan, hindi kayo palakain ng ganun kadaming karne, palakain kayo ng maraming ultra-processed food. And most of the saturated fat that you have that causes plaque formation is because of trans fats that you eat from your cakes, from your biscuits, and from other ultra-processed foods na inihahalo along with sugar. You may think that you're eating pandesal and you're just eating flour. No, you're eating margarine. You think you're eating cake and you're just eating flour and sugar? No, you're eating margarine. Ibig sabihin nun, it's not the saturated fat but the quality of saturated fat that you also have or you also consume. Yun yung pangit. Not all when the high carb populations or mga sumasamba pa rin sa dating food pyramid says not all carbs are equal, I am also telling you, not all fats are equal. And not because it is polyunsaturated fatty acid, healthy na siya. Bakit? Canola oil. Ano bang canola oil? Saturated fat ba yan? Hindi. Pero, healthy ba siya? Hindi din.
Hindi.
Ngayon, saturated fats are also not created equal because when you're eating trans fat, that is also saturated fat. But, that is a very inflammatory saturated fat in comparison to a natural fat that you will consume when you eat real animal products. Unadulterated, unprocessed. Okay, guys?
I remember 2018, 2017, 2018, kung di ako nagkakamali. Meron ng journal na ilabas regarding the saturated fat na wala talagang connections ang saturated fat with cardiac diseases. So it was clear during that time, 2018. Kasi 2019, lumabas sa American Diabetes Association ang low carb diet at very low carb diet as a tool sa medical nutrition para gamitin sa mga patients with diabetes. And you know, diabetes, mga pasyenteng may diabetes, laging may kakambal yan na either hypertension, cardiovascular disease, ischemic heart disease, they have PCOS, metabolic associated fatty liver disease. Yun na po yung bagong tawag sa fatty liver, sa NAFLD or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Nag-evolve na rin yan. May bago na silang tawag, metabolic associated fatty liver disease, dysfunction fatty liver disease. So, yan na yung mga updates. So, dati pa yan. So, kung kayo pa rin ay takot with the fat. So, I believe malalim naman talaga kasi yung pinag-ugatan yan. Kasi mula pagkabata, naririnig natin yan. Just focus on eating your proteins. Baka, baboy, manok, kung anong available dyan sa inyo, hindi nyo kailangan tanggalin yung taba, hindi nyo po kailangan pumili ng laman lang, hindi nyo kailangan pumili ng prime cut na karne or yung laman lang. Kung baboy, lomo, hindi nyo kailangan maglomo, pwede kayong pumili ng belly or yung sa may batok which is mas may taba. Sa baka naman, pwede kayong magbulalo, hindi nyo kailangan ng steak or yung parte lang na bini-beef steak para malambot at puro laman lang. Hindi po kailangan yon. So, you just buy your meat which is affordable, which is accessible sa inyo. Mag-focus kayo doon yung quantity na dapat na recommended na i-reach nyo lang. Kumain kayo ng itlog for breakfast. Tanggalin nyo na sa budget list ninyo or sa grocery list ninyo yung mga processed food, instant food, para mas gumaang pati yung budget ninyo. Kasi it's really not recommended. Walang place din sa guidelines about yung doon sa mga pagkain na yun. Wala tayong pag-uusapan regarding fruits and vegetables as long as wala namang kayong chronic diseases kasi dapat talaga in practice it should be limited, ibaba ninyo. So kung gaano kababa, that would depend on your checking kung anong response ng katawan ninyo with these certain types of food. But remember, halos lahat ng gulay sa ngayon at prutas sa ngayon, ano na yan, na-modified na. In such a way na ang prutas ay mas matamis, in such a way na ang mga gulay ay mas madali silang dumami, at hindi sila masira ng kaagad ng mga insects kaya they have pesticides. Ganon din naman sa parte ng mga baka, baboy, manok. Hindi ko sila iniitsapwera sa advice. We know na itong mga baka, baboy, manok for the production, meron na din silang binigay na antibiotics, ano pa ba? may injection silang sinasabi. Kung medyo skeptical kayo sa ganon, so bili lang kayo ng sa kapitbahay ninyo. Kung nagba-backyard farming yan, nagkatay ng baka, baboy, or manok, mas okay yon na bili ninyo. Kung sa isda naman ang preference ninyo, syempre mas gusto natin yung galing sa dagat kasi alam natin kapag ka fish pond, pinakain niya ng feeds, which is yun naman talaga ang concern ng lahat. So, namimili na lang kayo, and then again, always check yung response ng katawan ninyo.
Yes.
Kasi wala tayong magagawa sa wala tayong magagawa sa budget eh.
Yes.
'Di ba? So, tignan niyo na lang yung response ng katawan ninyo. Hindi niyo kailangan ng branded, kung anong accessible. Kung kaya niyo mag-backyard farming, magtanim kayo ng sarili niyong gulay na lagi ninyong kinakain, it's still okay. 'Di ba? So, yun tapos plus, i-monitor ninyo yung sarili ninyo. Okay? So,
Mahalaga talaga yung monitoring.
Plus, continuous learning. Para hindi kayo maligaw. Hindi kayo, sabi ni ganito kasi ganito. Sabi ni ganon, ganito naman. Nakakalito na. Aralin po ninyo. You have all the informations. Lahat ng social media, YouTube, TikTok, anong gusto ninyo, foreigner, Filipino, nasa kamay ninyo na lahat ng resources. Kayo na lang yung magde-decide kung sino yung susundan ninyo at anong papakinggan ninyo. Pero wag naman po sana kayong umabot sa punto na lahat pinakinggan ninyo, nalito na kayo, tapos hindi niyo na alam kung anong gagawin ninyo, wala na kayong sinundan.
Kalito-lito na pagsama-sama nyo lahat. Lalo tuloy pumangit kasi hindi nyo na alam kung anong tama at mali.
Timplahin ninyo kung ano yung tama sa inyo.
Hindi, kaya nga kailangan nyo mag-fact checking and at the same time, magkaroon ng sarili nyong study. Magkaroon ng sarili nyong learning. Like,
compile ninyo yung labs ninyo, laboratories
may
ninyo para
basis
makita
ba
nyo.
si doktora? May basis ba yung sinasabi niya? So, you can check it again so that alam ninyo kung ano yung sinasabi din namin. So, yun lang po. Salamat sa panonood.
Sana 10 minutes lang ako, Fia, overtime.
Okay lang yan.
So next week, fasting?
Yes, fasting tayo. Tayo debunk about mga haka-haka din nila regarding fasting. Like, how will it benefit and ano rin yung mga practices natin na common nating ginagawa na hindi naman pala talaga kailangan. Alam nyo kasi parang double yan parang either magawa mo siya ng tama or may mga ginagawa ka akala mo tama pero hindi naman pala ganun ka necessary sa practice. Kasi minsan nalilito dahil yun nga sabi ko sa inyo, ang hilig nyo kasi manggaya lang. Napakamot na lang Alam nyo, influencer talaga kami kung iniimpluwensyahan lang namin kayo. Ang gusto namin ni Doc Suzette, hindi kami maging influencer. Ang gusto namin, kami ay mag-spark ng curiosity sa inyo para mag-aral kayo. Like, ano ba sinasabi nila Doc Suzette? Aralin ko nga yan. On my own, mag-research nga rin ako. Kasi sa dami, gagayahin nyo lang lahat, gagayahin. Sabi niya tama. Kung sinabi ko sa inyo na kumain kayo ng saging, o di bigla nyo na namang sasabihin, sabi kasi ni Doc Fee, kumain kayo ng saging. Kasi ginagaya nyo lang. Huwag nyo kasing gagayahin lang. Alamin ninyo, bakit kaya niya nasabi yon? O bakit kaya ganito? Bakit kaya ngayon, kung marami kayong pina-follow, instead na pagsamasamahin nyo lang na sabi kasi ni ganito, pwede daw. Sabi ng isa, hindi. Dapat makita ninyo where they are coming from. Meaning to say, bakit kaya itong doctor na to had allowed this and the other doctor did not? Kasi baka naman may certain topic that time na dinidiscuss or certain disease or certain context pa na nauna, medyo na late ka sa live, parang gano'n. Hindi mo alam may
Hindi kasi
previous
pinanood yung buong video.
Hindi niya pala napanood yung buong video. Nag-explain pala yung doktor. Nag-explain naman pala. Tapos yung pinag-uusapan, kaya nga nasabi na pwede lang. Kung, tapos naputol pa yung internet connection nyo, yung kung nawala. O, diba? So, yun yung mahirap. So, yun po yung natin. Huwag tayong nanggagaya lang. Instead, aralin din natin. Okay? So, until next time, ito na siguro matutuloy na next week yung ating fasting. Sabi ko nga inurong lang namin dahil mainit-init pa, galing sa pugon, ayan.
Correct.
Freshly baked. Hmm. So, that's
Maraming
it. Thank
salamat
you
dun
guys
sa
for
30,000 na
watching.
nag-stay with us.
Yes, if you want to watch it again, you can go ahead to our YouTube channel. It's also Doctor's Desk. Same din yung ano namin dun, yung thumbnail, same din yung aming, parang ano yun, yung profile pic.
Mm.
Kasi usually dito sa Meta, na-e-erase ang live within 30 days. So, what we're doing is we are uploading the video sa YouTube para dun siya mag-stay at ma-compile and for easy access din kasi doon puro video lang talaga na makikita. Para po sa gano'n, mas madali din ninyo siyang mapanood.
Mhm.
So, sorry if hindi kami makapag-live on both.
Support us para
Um,
sabay.
yes, support us. Um, Hindi namin mapagsabay yung YouTube tsaka Facebook because StreamYard na free can only parang cater one, platform at a time. So, yun lang. Thank you so much for watching. Kahit 32 lang kayo, kahit nga isa lang, eh. Mahalaga sa'min 'pag meron kaming naturuan na isa, bahala na yung isa, responsibilidad din niya na magturo sa iba. And it will become like parang, ano yun, yung cascade kumbaga
Ripple.
ng
We
ripple
want to
effect.
create ripple.
Ripple effect, yes. So, kahit pa iisa lang maging audience namin, kaya naman namin mag-usap ni Doc Suzette kahit walang audience. Kaya kami dalawa, eh,
Galing.
kasi puwede kami magkuwentuhan, 'di ba? Ayun, so yun lang, salamat at magandang magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Bye.
See you next week. Bye-bye.